Is there something about females that you wanted to know but could never figure out? Are you struggling with relationships? Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of by the women in your life? Do you want to know how to leverage the playing field to your favor? Well, did you know that the female mind and the female psyche are mysterious and unexplored regions like the dark web of the internet? For this reason, men need a method of decrypting or hacking the manipulative psyche or dark web of the female mind. Once a man has a deep understanding of true female nature, he will then be able to hack her programming.
Access granted.
The purpose of this book is to help grown males evolve into men so that they can treat the women in their lives accordingly.
You win.
What's going on, everybody? Hello there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me see. Let me turn on my camera. Hopefully you guys can see me. What's going on? Shout outs to everybody here. What's going on, Just Being Jazzy? How you doing, love? Lovely, what's going on? Shout outs to my boy Sir Obadiah. What's going on, man? Peace to everybody. Everybody out here rushing to I guess go shopping or whatever because it's about to snow and some other shit. So it's just cool hanging out, getting some lunch today, and just chilling. Believe it or not, it's during the daytime, and it's dark as hell here. So y'all know how that goes. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I wanted to touch on something. It's gonna be a pretty quick show today, nothing too long. Um, I wanted to know if you guys can hear me. What's going on, Misha? How you doing, love? Clear, okay. What's going on? What's going on, Rashawn? Oh yeah, yeah. What's going on? So let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. I know you see on the thumbnail, Erykah Badu, the siren herself. I like Erica. She's dating she's dating a young man. I guess they said the guy's like 24, 25 or whatever, and she's dating a young man, you know? And I'm saying if it was the other way around, if it was the other way around, what's going on, keep it techie? Especially these days, people would say the man is a pervert. But I'm not here to, do this whole gender war thing. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, also if you're older, you know, um, I commend you. I do advocate, I guess, for older spinsters to, I cannot get this label off of shit, y'all. This that shit I be talking about. I do advocate for older women also if she feels she can date her a young man, I guess, Ain't nothing wrong with ain't nothing wrong with getting your groove back. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with getting your groove back. You know, back in the day, a lot of people like to ask, how did R. Kelly get so far? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why R. Kelly got so far was because a lot of the things that were okay back in the day is taboo now for some reason. And I'm not saying what R. Kelly was doing was right, even though a lot of people would say that. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying what he did was right. But back then, nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and I got a picture of it. I just need to find it. I remember on Jet Magazine, and not even Jet Magazine, I think Ebony Magazine, and there was another black magazine publication. You know, I don't think so. I don't think so. If you can, hey, let me know. That joint fire, right? That joint slowed down. What's going on, Tyrone? Lovely P says, I do not agree with older women with younger men. I mean, you know what? There's some anomalies with that, because like I get it. I'm not even gonna lie, I would say if you can do it and not tradition, but your genetics, if genetics are in your favor, of course, because I was bringing up the whole concept of R. Kelly and him being on that magazine cover, and it was around the same time when Stella Got Her Groove Back came out, and even to this day, you see what's going on, John Jones. Even to this day, you see um Angela Bassett is still being regarded as okay. She aged really good. You know what I'm saying? The youth in genetics is a thing that women pride in. You know, and a lot of people pride in. A lot of us, especially in the black community, we like to get older and not look a day older than probably what we really are. You know what I'm saying? So, we kind of pride ourselves and stuff like that. But I remember seeing that magazine, and around the same time, I remember seeing R. Kelly on the front of one of those magazines also. And I remember the whole Stella Got Her Groove Back wave, with Stella going to Jamaica and stuff like that. Um, yeah, yeah, that's after the party. That's my boy. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Keep it tacky. Um, with the whole Stella Got Her Groove Back thing. What's going on, Third Ward? With the whole Stella Got Her Groove Back thing, I understood it and I got it. And like Lev Lee said, which is true, she can't give him kids. But at that age, I wanted to ask you guys a question because I'm gonna connect some dots. At that age, let's say you have a woman that has had her children, got everything out the way, still looks good, and I guess she's at her sexual peak, right? You know how women in their 40s they get another sexual peak. Um, if let's say an older woman and a younger man was to hook up, what's going on, Fahim? Would that be like a transactional thing? It's like okay, she's at her peak, he's on the come up. She knows what she's getting when it comes to him. He may not know what he's getting when it comes to her, but it happens. And it happens in the black community more than we like to admit. Like when we showed what's her name? What's that woman's name? Bernice Burgos. How she was twerking and dancing with her daughter. The funny part is, and this goes back to me talking to you guys about how a lot of sisters don't look out for each other. You have a lot of older women competing with younger women, and you have a lot of younger women competing with older women, and they both know it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, to keep it 100 with you, a lot of times it's not worth it, or it's real slim pickings dating within your age range or within your age group. Tampa says older women won't respect the man. That's their nature. That's true. Unless he got a little bit of money and a little bit of wiggle room to move around with. Lovely said just had a 24-year-old trying to get my number. I'm like, you're young enough to be my son, right? I mean, so what is it? You know, a lot of women do want to go young, but it's for sexual needs in a lot of cases. It's not really for her to look to him or anything. But then again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, all right, John. Be safe, bro. Get them gains in, man. So I brought this topic up because Erica Badu got herself a nice little young artist. You know what I'm saying? Got herself a nice little young artist. Young gentleman. I think he's 24, 25, around that area. He does got some money. He's known in the industry. Yeah, John Jones. Older women definitely objectify younger men. Um, like I said, a lot of you guys are competing for the same group of men. E Love said, "Do you think modern men would predominantly vote for Sharia law types against women?" Nah, I don't think so. This is the thing, y'all. As men, we shit, real men, we're not trying to put women into no damn slavery or not make them feel like they're in slavery or take no laws away from them. You know what I'm saying? They can do whatever the hell they want. It's equality. Today's men don't even believe in putting women in that type of quote unquote submission. Not even the blue pill dudes. They don't believe in putting women in that type of submission. Not legally. Dudes just want peace. Women don't bring peace in a lot of cases. So dudes ain't really about the put no extreme laws into play because it's like, dudes nowadays we believe in equality more than we believe in equality more. Let me tell y'all something. We believe in equality more than women. We believe in equality more than women. We believe in it because if we smart, we know equal don't mean identical. You understand? What's going on, let's troll? Yeah, equal don't mean identical. You know, I believe in equality. I just don't believe that I just don't believe that it means that we're identical. It doesn't mean that we're the same. You know. So if you really think about it, what these brothers, especially the brothers that talk that political shit here in the what's going on, hot spicy, especially the brothers that talk that political shit here in the space, um, we don't make up the voting block. It's what the blue pill dudes, it's what the blue pill dudes is talking about. And then at the end of the day, our women outnumber us. So it don't matter what the men want to vote for. If women hive together and vote for something, it's not gonna work in our favor unless they are with us, unless they following what we tell them to do. So the average dude, he's not looking to put women under Sharia law or anything like that. The award said older women all has always been my sweet spot with women, even though I'm young. I move like a older man plus older women. Yeah, I mean, it used to be an anomaly type relationship. It used to be like a exceptional type thing, but now I mean it's people not looking at it like it's crazy. When some of it is though. We haven't even gotten to talk about that. How a lot of brothers got turned out by a lot of older women. What's going on, Lolis? Up? Lovely said fair, maybe. Hot spicy tea. What's going on? Lovely said, well, I am the white rabbit. Aqua, what's going on? So yeah. But I mean, Erica Badu, I guess she's I wouldn't say an exception, but she's not gonna get that much heat for that. Celebrities, they get into a lot of different types of relationships, and then at the same time, if she producing music and stuff like that, I ain't gonna lie, man. Her getting piped down by a little young man and him producing beats and shit like that, she might bring a youthful vibe back to her music. Black Caesar, what's going on, man? I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna bend the knee on this one, y'all. If Erica can put out another fire album, I don't give a damn. She can sleep with whoever she wants to. God damn it. If she makes both of them niggas better, shit. People still trying to dissect Erykah Badu songs, man. Hot spicy tea say I say good for her. Yeah, I believe some women can have their Stella got their groove back moment. But women don't, it's happening more now than ever though, and it's gonna happen more in my generation. You know what I'm saying? If you in your late 20s, early 30s, a lot of these older women are talking about getting younger women because with the internet, a lot of them back. So a lot of them are in the club still. A lot of them, they like to go out, they like to party, they like to have fun. So they're not tripping if they competing for the same group of men. A lot of times they looking for a younger, impressionable young man. That's just the way of it. They follow men because that's casual. That's like casual to medium type relationships. Those relationships are gonna are gonna become more prevalent nowadays because of transactions. The other night I was telling y'all about my generation, how I'm afraid of my generation to get into power. I think ARC was in here and stuff like that because I said I think we're going through Generation X. My generation, what's going on? Degenerate Tampa. I'm gonna get to your comments. I'm gonna get to y'all comments real quick. My generation don't believe in ownership like that, and I would like to say it could be like the better part. There could be a better part to it, but it's actually we're on the worser half of it. We don't believe in ownership because we just don't believe in ownership. A lot of what's going on, American Negro? A lot of people in my generation believe in walking away from shit. You know what I'm saying? Generation X too, but my generation, the majority of my generation, I think make up the majority of MGTOWs that you got here. I think the majority of MGTOWs, if I'm not mistaken, I think the majority of MGTOWs are millennials. If I'm not mistaken, my generation believes in rent. So I was looking at something, and it was like the millennial generation after surviving like what 3 economic collapses and some other shit and things like that. Like it's crazy. Like millennials been through a lot. So by the time they get into power, I don't know what the fuck about to happen. That's what I'm afraid of. Not all of us are smart. What's going on, Mace? Only a handful of millennials know what the hell they talking about, bro. I'm shaking in my boots. Our politics is something totally different. Black Jerusalem said Kuda can't call it. I might spoil it, fam. I'm on my New York shit. Hey, bro, some more of it, man. Tampa said Jay Dilla, Jay Dilla's best beat, didn't you know? Yeah. He sampled that beat from a group named Tarika Blue. It's a jazz group. And the name of that instrumental is called Lotus Flower. I played it on the show a couple of times and mixed it in. Like I played the instrumental and then mixed in Erykah Badu's version, which is like a more sped up version of it. And he did his thing on that beat. I ain't gonna lie, man. That Didn't You Know beat is that she did her thing too, man. Erykah Badu is awesome. Like I told y'all, I love weird women. Weird women have the best personalities. You can take them to the studio. You can run weird concepts by them, and you good. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make some real good music. Most people that are weirdos are good artists. They make real good music. I love weirdo women because that's the close to a personality that a lot of them get, and they ain't faking that shit. So a lot of y'all don't realize Travis Scott, weirdo. SZA, weirdo. Doja Cat, weirdo. Kanye, weirdo. There's a lot of weirdo artists. My bad, y'all. I don't got my gimbal with me today. Well, I do, but I ain't using it. Shout outs to American Negro. Lovely P says, I believe that women who date younger men plus 5 years are not in their full maturity. But what do I know other than I could have never dated a guy younger than me? Yeah, I guess the age gap does come into play, you know, but proximity does too, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what Erica Badu is looking for these days. But when men date young, and I would imagine it's a little bit the same with women, but there's a physical element to it. And with men, I guess there's a physical element to it also. It's because a lot of people they want that youthful vibe. That youthful vibe will definitely change you and have you a lot more active once you get up there in the years, or somewhat mentally stimulate you or keep you abreast of what's going on in the world today once you've gotten older and kind of mentally phased yourself out of the market, or you know you're in your own world, you're in your own bubble. And when people get rich like that, they be in their own world and they're in their own bubble. So sometimes they need to keep somebody around them, especially if they're getting back into the swing of things, about to produce music and stuff. Sometimes they need somebody young around them to keep them up to date or abreast of what's going on, or just keep that youthful sound slash youthful vibe. You know, some artists are self conscious about that. They don't want their music or their art to sound dated. But the cool thing is that if you got a new producer and you're producing dated shit right now, and they kind of put their touch on it, you good. So we don't know. We'll see if some good music come out of this. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Certain artists, I do play bias. I separate the artist from their personal life. So long as she delivers some good music, shit. Just being jazzy said we need more business owners. Well, millennials, oddly enough, we believe in businesses, but if you look at the politics of business, we're walking away from that too. A lot of millennials, one of the best things they're doing now, I don't say it always works due to the purchasing and buying, but you got a lot of people building businesses and making business models and then turning around and selling it. So, like, for example, if I wanted to say, let's say my business was building YouTube channels. Let's say I start a new YouTube channel, get it to 2,000 subscribers, and then I sell it. I can do stuff like that. So we don't seem like 8, 10 different business models before we hit our 30s. And we're watching a whole new one in this entrepreneur economy that we're going into. He said, I'd plant my flag in Erica Badu's territory. She got some magical wow. Degenerate said, what are some staunch differences between the mid and late 80s and 90s millennials? Well, there's a couple of things. We can also say that our relationships with the boomers were different. You know, if you were born in the 80s, your relationships with the boomer was one thing, and then if those boomers turned around and had children, that was a millennial. That's another thing. And then a lot of those kids from the 80s, they got millennial kids also. So the millennials it's a toss up. But a lot of boomers turned around, and their second child was the millennials. Was a millennial for the most part. We're not really latchkey kids. We're not really latchkey kids. Our mindset is similar, but they're different. You know. What happened with Wale, Jazzy? You said you like the one with the roots? Yeah. You got me. That's my shit. The roots also shit. Wait till I get a hold of the roots. But slow and chop their shit too. You said Erica Badu's looking for that YDE, that young dick energy. We need to predict businesses. Yeah, but it's hard to predict the business nowadays. It's really hard to predict the business now. You know? Nowadays, we don't even know where business is going. What's going on, NC worker? We don't know where business is going, man. And these NFTs, man. Can't wait to make some NFTs. You said Billie Eilish is a weirdo, but not really. It's a little bit different with those type of artists because a lot of times they are weirdos, but when people are writing your music, you probably, I don't know, you probably could pull it off better than a lot of people. So I like her choices in equipment. I got a microphone that Billie Eilish uses, and for some reason they're using that as a selling point for the microphone. The SE Electronics V7 is actually a really good microphone. If y'all go look at my Clubhouse videos, I did the shows with that microphone, that V7, and they just released another one. You know, I like Sublime. Sublime is awesome. I love Sublime. He said you have to teach someone the game on how to run it. Yeah. So that will be included with the sale. Like if I start a YouTube channel, get it up to 2,000 subscribers, and then sell it, I will have to inform them the type of audience. But people are buying monetized channels, so that's a part of it also. They buying monetized channels. Just somewhat a try hard contrarian sometimes. Yeah, it all depends. What's going on, NC Worker? Third War said, "Why do I got a feeling Erykah Badu tastes like brown sugar and cinnamon?" Yo, did you see that video that I shared with the dude with the Erykah Badu incense, the pussy incense that he got? And he smelled the incense and he was like, and then he started eating it. This nigga ate an incense stick. I said, damn. What's going on, Rodney? The generous said it seems us 90s born millennials are more weirder and more eclectic, I guess. Well, yeah, because we've seen life what it was, and when you attribute that back to your childhood, that's what you're gonna remember. I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. Hold on, y'all. What's going on, AB? I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. The 80s babies, they didn't really warn us what was gonna happen. And I don't think what's going on, Aisha? The 80s babies didn't really warn us what was gonna happen. And I don't think they themselves knew what was gonna happen. They didn't know technology was going to be the way it was going to be. That last clip that I shared on the last show with Barry White, warning people what the in '83 what it's going to be like. That's some real shit. It kind of is crazy seeing that right now. But a lot of people from the '80s, they didn't know relationships are going on the way out the door. So when people talk about the generations in this space, what they like to say is a lot of people like to blame everything on the boomers, which the boomers did play a big role in shit being fucked up today, like the housing market and certain things, right? But the boomers believed in quote unquote hard work. And a lot of them instilled hard work on the 80s babies and stuff, and was telling them to go to college and stuff like that. That kind of trickled down into my generation. Also with the going to college and stuff like that. What was I about to say? I was going somewhere with it. But the reason why you hear a lot of brothers here complaining is because they want to blame it on the boomers. which it actually really started with the tail end silent generation. It was the tail end silent generation that really started the whole trickle down effect. But what I'm seeing right now with the younger zillennials is they want to look at millennials and turn around and say the same thing because they heard us say it, but they don't know why they heard us say it. You know what I'm saying? Because some millennials, if you go to bat, they will blame a lot of that shit on the boomers, you know. But it really started with the tail end silent generation, you know. But the millennials, you know, a lot of us are in college debt. A lot of us didn't go to college. A lot of us, it's a toss up. A lot of our parents are boomers. A lot of our parents are Generation X. And the thing is that we got a different dose of technology. What's going on, James? We got a different dose of technology. See, Generation X, they had television, easy bake ovens, you know, Freaknik and stuff like that. With the millennials, what we had after like 13, 14, 15, all of the shit that Gen X has is on steroids. Everything's on steroids. You know what I'm saying? What the zillennials, the new zillennials, what they got now is everything's on steroids, but it's more controlled. It's more controlled now. Back in the day when we had MySpace and stuff like that, we wasn't getting advertisements. We didn't get like short videos. We didn't get like all of that other, yeah, Gigapet era and stuff like that. We got a bit of the digital era. The zillennials, they're getting a whole different type of internet. That's why what I was telling Sister George, I told a couple of other young ladies here that once you put a cell phone or once you put a tablet in your child's hand, your child is an adult. I don't give a damn how much V chips and parental blockers and all that shit you put on your phone. Once your child gets a taste of the internet, your child is an adult. Because back in the days, even when we had computer labs and stuff like that, and they would block stuff, man, we were finding a way to get on Facebook, MySpace. We were finding a way to go play video games and stuff on the internet. Man, all we use is a proxy website. I think one of them was called MySpaceCondom.com. You just type in MySpace condom and it sends you to a search engine. And what it does is that site cloaks what type of site it is. You just type in your MySpace and you go to that tab and all you do is you scroll on your MySpace through that website. And the computer think it's something else. Kids will find a way to find shit. And then even then, you can't stop shit. Cause I remember when remember that go look up Momo. This is Japanese doll that had the crazy ass face and was scaring the shit out of children. Parents couldn't stop Momo from popping up on the tablets and shit. They couldn't stop Momo. Momo took over that shit. And there was the element of surprise too. Go look up Momo. You think I'm bullshit? So once you put a phone or anything in your child's hand, that child is an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what we was doing. You know, we were the youngest generation on the internet like that, or what's known as the internet now. You know. And if you know anything about music, not even music, if you know anything about the internet, I have you know, human beings, we only use like what, 12% of the internet? Y'all go look up the dark web. As kids, we was getting on the dark web too. Go download Tor. I'm not gonna say no more. And the dark web only exists still to this day is because the military still uses it. So us millennials, we know what the hell is going on. The ones that paid attention, the ones that didn't get sucked, the ones that didn't get sucked into, you know, current technology. And millennials were beta tested. I believe that the Gen X, they were supposed to be beta tested, which they were to a certain degree. But millennials, we were definitely beta tested. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that exists now came from came from information from our era. So now what's going on? Thank you, Aisha. I'm trying to look smart today. So now later on, the information that we're putting out now, you have a bunch of companies out here taking those analytics and creating another. What's going on right now? This is creating the information what's going to be used for the metaverse. It's going to be used for the metaverse. So that's why you see Mark Zuckerberg try to cover up real quickly how much he lost when YouTube and not YouTube, but when Facebook and Instagram went down. Y'all should see how much information is. What's going on, Toya? We need 5 contributors, man. I'm dropping that game on today's show. 5 contributors. So this is what I'm saying. You know, everything's about to be different. You know, everything's about to be different now. You know, what's going on, Toya? Toya, I'm just gonna I didn't get your email, so I'm just gonna text you. I'm gonna copy and paste the email I sent to you. I don't know if you got it, and I'm gonna just text you. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring. I'm not ignoring. You know. So, the '80s babies have experienced the Napster situation. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, Ed? He said I got my groove back years ago. You know. But that's all we share in common with the Zillennials. The millennials and Zillennials, what we share in common is that we know how to troll each other. And the millennials got the keys for what the Zillennials is trying to do. Because the Zillennials are kind of like a lost generation. They're kind of living in a lot of millennial residue, you know, and they're gonna feel slighted also, just like they're gonna feel slighted also, just like the millennials. The Zillennials are gonna feel slighted also because nobody sat there and told them that all of that shit was gonna be gone, that the internet was gonna try to imitate what was real life, our values of tradition and stuff like that. A lot of millennials call themselves traditional and they don't know why they're traditional. They don't know what chivalry is for, what foreplay is for, what all of those things are for. And the Zillennials definitely don't have no clue about it. So that's why it's funny that the Zillennials are depressed, because because there's a love void right there. They get to see all the caricatures of shit going on the internet, and they'll never get to experience it because they don't know why they're doing it, and they don't properly feel love or truly feel love. That's some fucked up shit. Try to explain that to somebody. Throw that at your mental. Shout outs to Jan Man. Thank you for hitting the Cash App. You know, what's going on, JR? We don't got the, what's going on, James? We don't got the super chat on today's show. So if you guys want to support the show, please hit the Cash App. You said, didn't millennials take over the internet? For a little bit, but it got finagled. The Zillennials are taking over the internet now. The millennials right now, we're just along for the ride. You know, a lot of it's gonna be new to the Zillennials, but it's old to us. Like right now, look at Clubhouse. You got a lot of Zillennials gravitating to Clubhouse because they never had nothing like that. Look at Musical Squares. Remember Musical Squares? If I start adding people like a motherfucker on here on StreamYard, that shit gonna look like Musical Squares. The Zillennials don't know about Musical Squares. They don't know nothing about no damn Musical Squares. So what they're doing is they're living in the shadow. We didn't know all of this shit was going to be gone. The millennials, we just along for the ride. We didn't know all of this shit was going to be gone. Clubhouse ain't nothing but the party line. Reloaded. I got several examples of what Clubhouse is. The party line. You got Tiny Chat. Remember Uvu? That's what it is. That's really what it is. Now you got all the websites doing it. You got StreamYards doing the same thing. Streamlabs got theirs. OBS starting to have like a joint where you could start adding a panel. Tiny Chat definitely had theirs. Shit, even Tagged and Plenty of Fish nowadays, you can start doing panels and stuff like that on it, you know? And then you got Spotify. Spotify got something that's just like Clubhouse called Green Room. Spotify Green Room. Academics was promoting that not too long ago, but I knew about Green Room, but now I guess they're getting celebrities to kind of promote it. Yeah. So that's the thing. And a lot of these new websites and stuff that's popping up, for them to have longevity in the game, they got to be around for north of 10 years, at least 7 years, you know? So we're looking at the lifespan of these websites, you know? A lot of us didn't think MySpace was going to go down. Mark Zuckerberg, he knew Facebook can possibly go down, so that's why he created something else. That's another thing. When you got money like that, you got to be your own competition. What could my competition do? Then you start another business doing what you think your competition should do and separate it from what you already have. So now you got the models and the analytics to make shit work. Now you make it happen with whatever else you're gonna put your business into. Right? So Mark Zuckerberg, he know what he's doing. He got all of the data. Like I told you, Google, they're trying to build a whole city, because your page and your channel or whatever you got going on your thing, it's like a house. You got tenants, and these are real people. You just build a city, move these people in. That's why you have the concept of right now social currency. So y'all got to make sure y'all have y'all digital footprint. There's some type of reasonable digital footprint, you know. You said Facebook getting on your nerves. Hey, man. At some point it does. Everybody going to Facebook jail. But what the millennials want to do is they want to look at the millennials and they want to say, y'all never told us. Y'all never passed anything down. Y'all never warned us. And the crazy part is that millennials couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm one right now telling you, but you see where that's going. Millennials don't have shit to pass down also to you, because we were finessed out of a lot of shit also. You did? Millennials and a lot of Gen X, when their parents pass away and they get a house or something like that, we sell the shit. If a business was passed down to a millennial, 9 times out of 10, that motherfucker is gonna sell it. You know, if my dad passes me down his newspaper shop that he then killed himself in blood, sweat, and tears, and he passed it down to me, I got to be a smart enough businessman to be like, okay, let me not sell my father's business, but let me turn it into something. I was supposed to take the torch and say, let me start an online publication, and if you want special copies printed, we can mail it to you. It's supposed to bring another aspect to it. It's supposed to capitalize it and make it better. But as millennials, we're not taught that. A lot of boomers and a lot of Gen Xers, they didn't teach their children financial literacy, especially in the Black community. Only thing they taught their children was go to school, go to school, go to school. And then now we're getting into an entrepreneur society. We're getting into an entrepreneur society. Now, this is the thing. This kind of goes hand in hand with millennials walking away from shit. You know, yes, you're more independent, but you need to learn how to run a business. And if you don't know how to run a business, of course, if you don't care really about losing shit, I'm not saying that's the mindset to run a business, but businesses do fail. So a lot of us aren't really too fucked up if we build up a business and lose it. So that's why they say, build up a business and before you lose it, sell it. And that's a big thing on the internet. When I do voice acting work, or I do or I look at internet jobs, and you see remote work and stuff like that, a lot of that is other people that build it up and then they sell it. We got a different model when it comes to getting money. We got drop shipping on Amazon. What I do is I go over to eBay and I buy a bunch of white t-shirts for cheap. And then once I purchase those white t-shirts for cheap, then I go over to Amazon, post those white t-shirts up and sell it for like two, three, maybe $4 or $5 more. And then I make a profit. They do drop shipping. So our business models going into the future is something that a lot of people can't predict, you know. So the way we're doing business, what we're buying, a lot of that stuff is changing. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not saying don't go to college, but the best way to learn about this shit is on the internet. Don't make people think you dumb because you do your research on YouTube. A lot of these people that's on YouTube telling y'all and putting y'all in the right direction, they they um they went to school for that shit. And they will sit up there and tell you, no, you don't need to do that. You need to get in right here. This is how you need to do it. And this is how the business is going to be ran in the future. Keep it up like this, you'll be somewhere else. You know, the business model for a lot of places is changing. These people aren't doing business like they used to do it back in the day. Now everything is at home. Everything is at home. So we gotta understand what's going on right now. We living in different times. If you don't know how to work or get any type of money while you at home, you're bound to drizzle. You know, and this is the type of knowledge that we gotta talk about. But never quit your day job. Get you a nice day job and work from home. Take some of that money from that day job and pour it into your business, and it'll get you. When you start emptying water into one bucket, it'll get you out the other bucket. You know what I'm saying? Lovely said true. Jazzy said 100. You know, you say you can go to the dollar store too. What do you mean, Jazzy? James, yeah, you got to be in the right place. Yeah. Lovely said I've been doing things from home since 2006. Yeah. Back to basics. What's going on? Yeah. So yeah, you just got to learn how to work from home, and there's a lot of things that you can do. When I was telling you guys to go get your studio together, you don't got to do YouTube. You can do YouTube, and you can promote your businesses and stuff like that. But take some of that equipment and go do voice acting work, do voiceover work and stuff like that. They pay real good. You know, they pay real good, and get certain things set up. If you want to, you can go get an agency where you have an agent that goes out there and get you voice acting work. They get their cut. You do your job, and you just kick it at home. You know. But yeah, once my thing gets to like 20%, we're gonna be out. But getting back to the generational talk, a lot of Zillennials are gonna try to kick that whole we was never taught. We was never taught. We was never it never got passed down from the millennials. It's because nothing really got passed down to the millennials. You know what I'm saying? And if something did get passed down to the millennials, a lot of millennials are out here learning stuff the hard way. You know. You said Hobby Lobby, get them shirts. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you can go to the dollar store too. Yeah, yeah. Yep, 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 yep. You said get on the print machine and make shirts. Yeah, they got a lot of them out here. You know, they definitely got a lot of them out here. So you know, but it's little things, man. The model is gonna change. Anytime you have like a recession, or or a pandemic and stuff like that, when businesses go down, other businesses come up. So it's a money maker. And a lot of these companies, they don't want to have to go through what what a lot of people in the pandemic has gone through when they're losing their businesses and stuff like that. So a lot of these remote jobs and stuff like that, and these new jobs that's coming up, they're I wouldn't say their selling point, but entry point is going to be pandemic proof. That even in a pandemic, you can still work. So that's why when you saw Mark Zuckerberg promoting the metaverse, he's not really talking about the metaverse for regular people. He's talking about how he's gonna start bringing in the new digital employees, where he's gonna have a whole bunch of workers in the new metaverse. The first couple of people that's gonna be in the metaverse are gonna be coders and people that's gonna contribute to it. So he's talking about work. He's already talking about this is an easy way to you know what I'm saying, work from home and stuff like that. So he's talking about making money off the metaverse already. So you know, and by the time we come around to it, you're gonna have a whole bunch of people just talking about it. You sit back and you let the people do the advertising for your product by talking about it, by doing podcasting and stuff like that. When you're selling something, word of mouth is always going to be worth a lot. But on the internet, the concept of word of mouth works different. Word of mouth on the internet is going viral. You know, hey, did you see that video? Hey, do you know about this? Hey, do you know about that? People actually go look it up. You know, so make sure you guys, when this is done, you scroll up anything that you ever wanted to know, type it into the search bar, and go listen to a bunch of people on YouTube talk about that same exact. All right, my bad, y'all. I'm back. Let me know if y'all can hear me, cause StreamYard's acting a damn fool. But anyway, getting back into it, like I said, shit going to change, man. Shit definitely going to change. So I got 1%. I got 1% till I get to 20. I'll probably go to 15. But yeah, shit definitely going to change, man. So it's just to be ready for it. I mean, y'all going to see who prepared for it and who didn't prepare for it. You know, things are supposed to change. Things will change. So a lot of millennials cigar. I think it's called Santobal. Santobal. It's from Dominican Republic, I think. But a lot of us are gonna learn ownership the hard way later on. You know, I know about ownership, and I'm looking more into it. But just to tell you the truth, a lot of millennials they rather walk away. They rather walk away from shit than actually, you know. But anyway, it's Player Talk Radio. We out. Like I said, just talking about there you go right there. Just talking about Erykah Badu and her little jump off. It happens, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of dudes got fantasies about dealing with older women. So I don't know. They're musicians, they're artists. Maybe he, you know. I ain't gonna lie. As a 25-year-old man, if he grew up listening to her music and shit like that, to date her, that's some tricked out shit. But anywho, got to get back to it. If you like today's show, make sure you contribute. Hit the Cash App. Got some more fire for y'all coming. We out. It's Player Talk. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh, I got some more premieres coming. Stick on to the channel. I got 2 more songs about to drop. It's Player Talk. We out. Let's get it.